Hey Simmers, it's Erin. I play The Sims, and you are watching the next episode of the 100die Fundie Baby Challenge, a challenge in The Sims 4 where we take the 100 Baby Challenge to weird culty fundie church. You guys, it's still snowing. I don't think it's probably falling as hard as it was last episode, so we may sneak on over to Moonwood Mill. You guys, we have some catching up to do, definitely. Everybody is waking. Well, they've been up. The kids have done their homeschool homework, which is outstanding. I don't know if we will take the infants with us because they're kind of a pain to move around. Mama is feeding the little girls. What am I doing out here? Okay, so the weather is still as bad as it was the other day. Uh-oh. We've got some goals that we want to do. Power Conservation Day is in effect. Lovely. Okay. Well, it doesn't really affect us too awful much because, we are mostly off the grid. Good for us. Yay. Us being holy enough to not depend on that government. Anywho, guys, we definitely need to get going over to Moonwood Mill. I need to be catching you guys up because you guys were very rightfully confused. It bounced between confusion for why in the heck quartz would be accepted and not leaf. And some were, happy for quartz, but still very confused, or at least felt incredibly bad for leaf. That leaf got essentially disowned and quartz is embraced. So that's very, very fair. And I think a lot of where you are is where the congregation is at, because there was a very definitive message about how to come out as transgender, about how to be transgender, is to tell the watcher that the watcher made a mistake, that you were wonderfully and fearfully made. Yay, lift head milestone is unlocked. And to decide, so to speak, like big air quotes there, that you are transgender and that you were born in the wrong body is to decide that the watcher made a mistake and therefore it is a sin. And that is to try to make yourself like the watcher, and no one should ever think that they are like the watcher. Oh my gosh, Topaz is giving of himself. He's volunteering right now, and we just got a card. It says Topaz notices that the soup, he's volunteering at a soup kitchen, is going to run out before everyone gets fed. Should he ration the soup and give everyone half portions, or should he use filler ingredients to make it last longer? I think he should add filler ingredients because these are homeless Sims, and they don't get much food. Topaz approaches the chef and asks for some cabbage and onions to add to the pot to make up for some lack of meat. The chef finds a bunch of extra veggies to add to the pot. The soup was even better than before. Yay! Oh, that's going to make Topaz feel so good. So makes total sense why Leaf would not be accepted, right? We don't like it. We think it's gross. They have a vast misunderstanding of what it is to be transgender. You are not deciding that you are transgender. You are simply letting everyone else know what your brain knows to be true, that you were in the wrong body. Quartz is calling to chat. Yeah, we can. Now, why do we accept quartz? Why do the Josephs accept quartz? And why are they counseling their children to accept quartz? When you have that friend in your life that is like die hard on something, right? Aw, Limestone is going to take his horse on a stroll here, just a little relaxed ride to get that riding skill up. But you know how you have that friend that is like die hard? Oh my goodness. Okay, these guys are not doing what they're supposed to do. Like, they could never understand how anybody could take such and such action over something, and then it always ends up being about what kind of person that they assume that person is. Why are we just standing here? Why are we standing? There we go. That's a lot better. That is super weird that glitch happened. Okay. Well, The Sims is having some trouble today, guys. I'm just going to float this in here. There we go. We're playing with our playmat. That's great. We're waiting to give a bubble bath. I'm all right with that. But they make all of these assumptions about such and such kind of person would make this decision, and I never would, and I don't believe anyone else ever would. And then whatever it is that they are so dead set against happens to them or continues to happen to them, or someone that they love, that they don't ascribe those horrible assumptive feelings toward. Well, that happened. That happened to Quartz. And they have a reason that they feel that they can point to. Oh my gosh, she's giving her baby a nap. That they feel that they can point to. And that's the way this works. This is the mental acrobats that they have to leap, fly, and jump through. Yay, volunteering is fun, builds character, it feels good to do good things for others. We have 6 bottles of milk. That's outstanding. The difference for them is that they view that somehow Leaf's transgenderism was a choice, and that Quartz, oh yay, first bath. Quartz had this burden, again air quotes, thrust upon him, that since this change happened without medical intervention, that Quartz did not need any kind of hormone replacement. Quartz did not need to consult with a doctor. There was no top or bottom surgery, nothing like that. That Quartz couldn't have been blamed for this. And because this happened in their minds naturally on its own, because of the bite from Greg, that this happened without Quartz's choice. This was something that the Watcher did. The Watcher chose to change Quartz, whereas the Watcher would not have chosen to change Leaf, and that is why Leaf is essentially disowned. That's why Leaf is not talked to or about, except as a cautionary tale. And that's why Quartz is seen as like, hey, this is the burden that you had to bear. And even though you would not have chosen this, just like a woman would not have asked to have been barren, or a man would not have, a man would, yay, laugh milestone unlocked. A man would not have asked to be at a point in time where he is between jobs, unable to provide for his family. This was something that you did, and you did it in a way that we think could have pointed other people, other Sims, to look at the Watcher and to prove how good the Watcher is. So that's their logic. That is the brain bridges that they had to build in between what it is they believe and what reality has been showing them. Can you and I identify that as some mental acrobats and some excuses and a way to sort of twist reality to fit your beliefs? Yes. Can they? No. They're in a cult. The reason people get into cults and believe in what cults believe isn't because they're stupid. Most of the time it's because they're earnest, and because they take a true, beautiful belief and somebody manipulates it for their own purposes. So it's not that they're stupid, it's that they've been indoctrinated. So, again, I do not blame anybody for being very, very confused as to what the hey happened, why Leaf is still on the outside and everyone that supports Leaf is still on the outside and disowned, and why Quartz was embraced with open arms. Quartz is still Fundie. Although I think the brand of Fundie that Quartz has to be in order to facilitate a werewolf lifestyle has to change, and that will be acceptable too, because, well, that's different. So that's where we're at. Oh my goodness, look at this little dedicated horse rider out in the snow. You guys, I'm still waiting. I'll wait till later in the episode to change this horse's name, but you guys are naming the horse right now. I have a poll out that will be deciding this horse's name based on some of the suggestions that you guys made last time. Ooh, his hunger is so low. Get him back. I'm so upset. Like, my saddle that I chose isn't coming up for this horse. But that's fine. He is already at motor level 5, you guys. This kid is going to be so gifted in horseback riding. He can't fulfill this want. It just occurred to maybe he can. So he wants to care for a horse and he wants to ride a horse. Well, you are riding a horse right now, baby. This horse is trudging through the snow. I'm loving this. We're gonna ride home though, because like, yeah, we're not doing this whole relaxed ride thing. I don't know why we're out here. He doesn't either. He's like, what am I doing out here? It was better weather when he started. He is saddle sore. I'm sorry, baby. Yeah, let's go home. Look at him riding like a champ. Alrighty, everybody is doing what they need to do. So tomorrow should be, I think, a better day. Nope, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Tomorrow should be a better day. It's going to be windy, but it won't be as snowy. We should be able to get out between blizzards, between the weather. Mama is going to super efficient newborn care. I love this interaction so much. Does that fix her energy? It doesn't. It does not. But that is a-okay. Mom and Dad are just taking care of the babies while Garnet gets her first level of cooking under her belt. I did not realize that Garnet aged up with none of that. So Garnet has some violin skill, which is outstanding, has some singing, piano, fitness, all of that. Is just starting on her first cooking skill, already has level 4 knitting. This is crazy. I start her on something and she just goes off. Like, look at this. Holy bejeebus. So this is great. Garnet is going to be trad wife perfection in no time. Do not get anything. Your sister is making food. Cooking level 2. Nice job, Garnet. It looks like he got some chili. He's like, listen, it's her first time making stuff on her own. I don't want to. You do need to chance it. Okay. Be supportive of your sister. So guys, I would like to point this out to you. After the conversation with his parents, this young man wants to express his doubts about the Watcherite doctrine. Watcheritism is just really Christianity, like even just mainstream Christianity. And this Fundie, or like I think they would probably call themselves, they wouldn't call themselves Fundies, or maybe even fundamentalists, but they might say that like they are steadfast in their faith. So maybe they would call themselves Fastians, like fascists, you know. So he's feeling some doubts about what it is they believe, and that's a good thing. Cooking level 3. This girl's on fire, you guys. Holy goodness. So, alrighty, our adventurous boy is, let's tell a joke. And can we like dismount, please? Your hunger is low. So I would like to call your horse to eat, please. You know, we're gonna take care of our little horsey. I am so excited to see how Limestone's relationship goes and what his skill level becomes with this horse. And, you know, other horses. I would imagine that when he's so cold, when the other horses, or when our first horse passes, he's always probably going to have one. Garnet baby, how'd you do? Oh, it's normal. Okay, good for you. That's outstanding. Garnet already has her first 2 requirements for the Tradwife skill completely knocked out of the park. I think Garnet is feeling pressure. I think both of these kids feel pressure to perform. They've got to have someone other than Jasper stay in the Fundie faith. You know what, Mom? That's really passive aggressive to have totally fine food made by your daughter. And you're just making your own salad to be like, there's no way you could have made it good enough. Man, like that, rude. So rude. So guys, it is 6 o'clock on Thursday. Tomorrow, everybody is going to get going to Moonwood Mill. So I'm going to have them just do what they need to do. I'm going to have them kind of talking, getting dinner done. Their homework is nice and done for the week, so that's outstanding. Good for them. They're going to be working on their skills and probably going to bed tomorrow or tonight, and then I will see you guys tomorrow when we're ready to leave. In fact, I changed my mind. I think that since Little Miss wants to hang out with Corinne, her presumed beau's sister, we ought to entertain that, you know? So what else do you want to do? You want to make something of excellent quality, of course. So they should be coming over. I think that it would be good to have Topaz have a friend, because for his aspiration, he actually has to make one anyway. He could be friends with his siblings. That's pretty normal, but he's becoming a man. Oh, the Roberts gang is here. Very excited to set something up for them. It is nice to see them socializing and like with people that they feel comfortable with. Should they branch out more? Yeah. Are they going to? No. Oh, there's the man baby, the jealous man baby. That's great. So we're just entertaining. This is going to be a social episode. Tonight we'll have like family friends over, and then tomorrow, oh, it's Cecilia. Hi, Cecilia. And then tomorrow we will go and see our extended family. Very excited. We don't really get to do this very often because most of our kids don't stay. And to be honest, if they hadn't made this exception for Quartz, then Quartz could not have stayed either, and they know that. I think it was Amy at one point. Did you just see that swoon? Cecilia! Oh my goodness, first your husband, now you? I think, I bet Cecilia's had to live with some repressed things. It's not out there, obviously, as we know in our family, for people or for Sims to have to just sort of sit on their sexualities, and I hope that that's not it for Cecilia. But if it is, I'm sorry, girl. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, Mrs. Roberts is practicing violin. Mrs. Roberts is clearly not as musically gifted as Garnet is. One of you guys thought maybe that Garnet would be a great ballet dancer with her perfectionist and dance machine tendencies, or traits. I agree. I think that she's got the discipline really to put into ballet. I think she would be a beautiful ballet dancer. Ooh, what do you want to do here? You want to become friends with Erin? Oh, wonderful girl. Let's tell a funny story to Erin and see how that goes over. We shall have to see. Looks like she knows both parents, so that's wonderful. That's outstanding. Power Conservation Day has ended. Beautiful. Meanwhile, oh gosh, everyone is just talking. This is such great social time. It is pretty rare too that they would all have the opportunity to kind of be over. Usually they're so exhausted by keeping up the rituals of their own faith between homeschool and definitely symbol studies and trying to just maintain their gender roles and their households, that there just really isn't very much time for socialization. And it's meant to be this way, right? It's meant to keep you so tired in keeping up all of these rules, all of this stuff you have to do, that you do not have the mental energy to question what's going on. You are much more compliant in trying to run those mental acrobats than you are standing back and going like, wait, why are we doing acrobats right now? This is not a circus that I joined. At least I didn't think it was supposed to be. Topaz, why don't you give a funny introduction to Corinne? Corinne would most certainly be interested in Topaz. Topaz is very easy on the eyes. So is Garnet. Garnet is a beautiful sim as well. I think the Joseph kids are quite desirable, although I have to admit, being one of the parishioners of James's, one of James's flock, would be so confusing to be like, wait a minute, so straight and monogamous and, you know, also at the same time not really interested in a relationship until the second you can't avoid it, which is coincidentally the minute you age up. That's the way it's supposed to be, but how many of your kids did not follow that path, and you have 12 of them? But yeah, so that math ain't mathin'. That just doesn't add up. It would be very hard to maintain a flock with a family like this. Your family is a reflection of your doctrine, and if you can't manage your household, by Corinne, then is that really a testament to how much you take any of this to heart? So I don't know what their flock is going. Wowee, that sim is irresistible. Garnet has a major crush on Erin. Okay. All right. This is literally the first boy that she was introduced to. He has some concerning traits, but, you know, he's also the only one available, so at least there's that. Okay, guys, Mama and Garnet are going to put... Oh, goodbye. Mama and Garnet are going to put the babies to bed. Topaz has done his job as a chaperone while parents were not here, so thank you, Topaz. Been doing a solid. I kind of want to save this. So I will see you guys in the morning when we are getting ready to go to Moonwood Mill. All right, guys, Limestone is the first one up. He just took a vacation day from school. It's Friday, so they would normally be going to get their supplies and such. But we're going to take a vacation. Oh, that's weird to watch him pee. We're going to take a vacation day today because we're going to go visit family. I'm excited. I am excited. Alrighty, everybody's up. This is going to be fairly mundane. So I'll just speed right along past it while everybody's calling out of school, and I will pick up with you guys in Moonwood Mill. Well, that was taking far too long. It is like almost 2, I think, in the afternoon. All the chores were taking quite a while, but let's go on over to Moonwood Mill. We're going to go right to our area where our Joseph family had vacation. This is now property that Quartz and family owns. And here we are in Moonwood Mill. The babies, the twins, are being taken care of. It says daycare, but Beth would never. Dad is going to knock on the door. It's time that the siblings met their new old brother. And I'm excited. So even from the stream, Quartz looks different than he once did. The family is all piling in. You guys, over the past week, I've had a series of polls on the channel in the what do you call it? The community tab. Oh gosh, the hugging isn't going so well. And you guys have been very, very helpful. It's about really what to do with our other kids. Most of them aren't Fundie, and what to do with them at the close of the season right before our next gen starts. And we're going to be having a few recorded episodes with each of them. We'll have like little mini series with them. Oh, we're meeting Eclipse. Oh, so the family is just getting introduced and caught up. They're going to have a lot of questions for Quartz about, so many things. Like, did you have any idea that the Watcher was going to be doing what the Watcher was going to be doing? How do you answer that, right? Quartz was transgender before Quartz ever had any bite from Greg or anything of that nature. Oh, Limestone is playing peekaboo. Oh, that's cute. Let's put Eclipse back down. Eclipse does not seem very happy to be in our arms versus Mama. There's a lot. It hasn't changed super much since we vacationed here. There is a little gemology station. Quartz has gotten quite into the lunar effects on those gems and how the Watcher wants to bless Watcherite wares that come to the faith. There's also a few other stipulations for werewolves. They're hairy beasts, okay? They are hairy Sims even when not in beast form. And so, brows are a little bit thicker. They have to keep their beards neat and trim, but male Sims are allowed to have beards if they are werewolves. And Quartz is really pioneering this, and I think that this is very interesting to Topaz. Topaz absolutely wants to reach souls for the Watcher. Before, wares would have been counseled to him. Wares in any occult sim would have been counseled to him to be really evil, serving like a false Watcher, possibly serving their devil figure. This is like a 180 that his parents and the Doctrine have flipped. Garnet is just going to be hugging Quartz. I would imagine that this is so weird. Maybe they're leaving room for the Watcher. They're not quite comfortable. They've got an entire lifetime of indoctrination to get over. I think for Sims that were not raised Fundie or even Watcherite, if you've never interacted with a transgender person, it can be a different thing to get your head around because you frame gender differently. So I would imagine there's a lot of like, hey, Rose, I don't know what to call you. Like, you're someone that I remember as my sister. And I think there's a lot of questions for Luna and a lot of talk about how brave Luna is to have obeyed the will of the Watcher and looked past an exterior, really tuned into what the Watcher wanted. I think that there would be a lot of framing about Quartz's transition as this burden, something that was initially very bad. And Quartz has to sift through all this with a Fundie frame of reference and explanation. And I don't know. Quartz is whole. And Quartz has found a lot of freedom in his faith, being a were and being a transgender were. So I would imagine that they've probably heard of this before, at least the Days and the Ponders and other werewolves, but it's still considered pretty rare that your werewolf would be a different gender than what you are. So he's even a standout among werewolves. And from his perspective, there's got to be a reason for that, right? Like, this is ordained by the Watcher to do. And he's right about that. This is something that I specifically set Quartz up to do. Quartz was born Rose and is now Quartz. And that is no less holy than Beth being born, well, Beth wasn't born Beth, but then Garnet being born Garnet. There we go. And staying Garnet. None of those things has anything to do with a relationship with me. They're not there yet, though. They've definitely got trauma that they are processing, and they're doing the best that they can. And it is a smack in the face to Leaf. We're not getting Leaf's perspective yet. But I can imagine that would just be a whole new wound ripped open wide. After not talking to your family for so long, not being allowed to talk to your family, maybe being so angry that you didn't care to talk to at least your parents, and then come to find out through the grapevine that, well, you have a trans sibling, so you're not alone. And this trans sibling was venerated. This trans sibling, was put up on a pedestal and is now going to be their little, I would imagine, transwear token sim to be like, look, we're accepting, we're loving, it's fine. It just has to be ordained by the Watcher, and we only recognize a few things. And that's just not Leaf's story. So I don't know. I could imagine, again, that this is dissonance. This is trying to make their ideals match their reality. And unfortunately for these guys, their reality really has to be shaped hard in order to match their ideals. And sometimes you can't do that. I'm glad that the family is, more together than it would have been and is meeting, and that they're doing something fairly healthy, at least within their own little culty sect. And, meeting, and believe it or not, this is baby stepping them to more acceptance, if they'll accept that, if they'll take that. They're right. I work in mysterious ways. Even someone staunchly in one camp, I can make it so that there is no way that they cannot make exceptions. And there is a lesson there if they're willing to take it. So we'll see. We'll have to see. In Quartz and Family's recorded episode, there will also be a live stream. We get to explore what it is to set up a 100die Fundie cult, what that means, and what things have to get tossed out just by nature of what it is. We'll get to see that in Leaf's stream. We'll get to see, I think, first of all, I think we'll get to see them fully transition, and we will get to see some of the emotional fallout from this. So we've got a lot to do. Guys, it is 8:00 on this Friday night. I'm going to leave it here. I'll get everybody moved back home from visiting, but I will leave it here on Saturday. This is actually going to be the Saturday before Easter. Ooh, feels like it's been forever since Beth's been romantic with her partner. Could be paranoia, could be anxiety, a gut feeling, but Beth can't help but wonder if her partner is up to her. Did he flirt with his daughter-in-law? You are deeply wounded. Some wounds take a long, long time to heal. Being around James brings up painful memories for Beth. Listen, it doesn't say that he cheated. What it does say is that he wounded her. I'm wondering if she's a little mad at him for the way that she has been encouraged to treat her children and exclude her children. Or that maybe she's mad at him for being able to make an exception for Quartz, but not Leaf, because we know that Mama went to visit Leaf, maybe with James's blessing, maybe against James's blessing. Oh my gosh, y'all, the family drama. Oop, just kidding. We forgot to roll to see whether this young lady ends up staying or leaving. So right now, let's do that. As a reminder, heads is yes, they are staying. No is tails, that they are not staying. Flip a coin.
It's tails.
It's tails. Oh no. Okay, so she's got all the recipes to stay right now. It looks like she's having some thoughts of leaving. We shall see, you guys. If Little Miss Perfect, dancing machine, is going to be staying in fact or leaving. We will re-roll when she is an adult. I don't think that this is, oh, he's telling a horse joke. I don't think this is the final word. Either way, guys, for real this time, I will see you next time I stream or post. Watch or bless. And as always, happy simming.